Welcome back. Before we step outside for some more one-on-one matchups, let's look at some of the year's top plays from the League of Legends Master Series. First up, the Flash Wolves with Maple turns a fight single-handedly as the Master of Shadows.
瑟瑟，你为什么要代替？
出勾勾到，可是我觉得
看到这边水一接就来不及了。但是 Maple 这边要秀了吗？看这边直接被秒杀以后，回身的 Maple 又是斩掉了。Maple 这边1打4 ，Oh my God，Stake 这个变相的
support
1保1，夸抓 kill。
And next up, Team Fire's own Ole shows us the fastest monsoon in the East.
原本套了圣的大绝，想要反打做一个目标，又被吹回来之后，Ole 是交了自己的闪现逃脱，不过 Toys 迎面而来的电视脉冲。哇，这里是 W， 然后 Ole 用大绝把他给吹开，
用复出季风挡掉了这一次牛的冲撞。
And finally, Hong Kong esports come up big against AHQ to win a fight that would bring them to the LMS's summer finals.
妹还蛮惨的，是惨在阵前最中间中了一个清晨。Ole 是直接闪 WQ 顶丁特再一次顶飞2个人 ，AN 这边变成第一个目标，球你转大绝，直接把 AN 转爆，他们再将计划解开了这一次 CC 的感觉，拿到了一个 double kill。
最后 Ole 这个闪现非常关键，直接抓到了安跟 Zip 2个人。这个时候 Toys 才放大传球，球给丁特，灌篮，转爆了 A， 再刮2个人，有没有？这就是一开始提到这个丁特带球上篮，在纳尔推墙，哇，完全接在一起。
Well, all three fantastic plays, but remember to tweet at LOL Esports with the hashtag of the play you think is 2015's best from the LMS, and we'll check in on your #1 highlight later today. For now, though, it is time to step outside and hit the Howling Abyss.
Thank you very much, Shocks. Here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen, back in the 1v1 arena. Who's ready for some action? There it is. All right, well, you know the rules, so we're not going to go through those. We're going to get right into it. So our first two contenders on the Howling Abyss. First up on the blue side, representing Team Ice from China's LPL. He's a 2-time world champion finalist, and his name still gives us trouble. It's Uzi! And his opponent on the red side, also fighting for Team Ice, a support who strutted his stuff as the Sheriff pimped over to make the round of 16. Put your hands together for Kassim! Well, that's enough talk, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to hit the abyss.
That's right, Dash. It's time to 1v1 on the Howling Abyss, and Kassim is going down. You said he was going to lose yesterday.
I did.
And you were wrong.
I've been wrong a lot, Trev. Don't worry. I now believe, again, in Kassim a little bit. He's going to go up against Uzi. I'm starting to...
I think he's going to get crushed by Uzi.
Maybe,
saw what
maybe.
Uzi did in the marksman mode.
But Trevor. So Dash said we don't need to go over the rules. This is your first time back on the 1v1, well, first time on the 1v1 stage. So I'm going to, bring you and anybody else that has not really seen the 1v1s. 100 CS, first tower, first kill. That's how you win in the 1v1s. Let's see exactly which one of those is going to be the win condition for Kassim here, as I am dreaming about Kassim winning this game.
Faith is misplaced, I'm afraid. Pick some bans. Urgot away. No real surprises yet, Caitlyn. So Lucian, Kindred, Lulu. Yep. Some of the primaries. These are the meta picks that we're seeing. Yesterday, Kassim got Caitlyn, but truthfully, it was Ziv tower diving and making a mistake.
Yes,
that let Kassim win.
I'll give you guys some insight. Kassim was actually not really, thinking he was going to win. He was like going through these strategies that, how can I just lose in a funny way? And then he actually wins his first one. That was why he was looking so confused when he won the first game. But it is, Kassim banning out the AD carries. On the other side, Urgot Fiddlesticks Morgana off the table for Kassim's choice. Uzi, a lot of big picks available still here.
Well, Kindred and Lucian, two champions that have seen incredible success on the Howling Abyss. The crowd is cheering for the Teemo. Do it, Kassim! Do it, lock it in! Oh, I'm trying to make eye contact, but he's not looking this way.
Don't do it.
The blind would work against Lucian.
No, we had this, we had this discussion at IWCA, and, it was Carbon playing the Teemo. He actually had the advantage and then ran into a tower, so unless Kassim can, you know, be the master of disaster in this like Carbon was and somehow have Uzi tower dive again, this would be the second win. The crowd is not liking the change at the last minute. It is going to be the Kindred picked up against Lucian. So, this is the first time we've actually seen this matchup, I believe, here this weekend.
And we should be expecting Grasp of the Undying on both of these champions. They could both play the sustain for CS game, because I don't see either dying unless one player makes a mistake. With the dashes and the dives that they both got, the ability to dart around the map and get some good damage down, I think it's going to be scary. Uzi's he's got a very serious look on his face there, Stress.
So does Kasing. This is like the first time I've ever seen him not chuckling to himself as he's loading into the game.
That is the most serious
It
Kasing.
actually is.
The Kasing effect does not help you in a 1v1. And a spot in the quarterfinal on the line. Also to note, this is a team kill. It is ice v ice outdoors in the cold winter air.
Uzi's like, this is my world. This is it. I'm going to win this tournament. I am going to be the best 1v1 player in the world. I guess that is actually what you can claim after this.
Hey, that's the way it is. I haven't seen a more premier 1v1 tournament. But welcome to the Abyss. Bush control in favor of Uzi. He's already come face to face. No ward down.
He didn't plant the ward.
Mistake.
That's the key thing there is you have to have the ward to secure control. Kasing has targeted Uzi, no surprises there, on the Kindred passive. So at this point, Kasing's actually established the position on the map. So, a reminder, 7 minions is the name of the game to hit level 2. That is the first minion of the second wave grants you that initial level up. And that is why Kasing is positioned so heavily forward, because if you can get the initial damage down and get, you know, your wave killed faster, you manage to get that level 2.
I think get yourselves comfortable. Unless Kasing wants to commit to an extended fight, I think we're going to be looking for the CS goal. So initial push seems to be in favor of Kasing, right? You can use that Life Slinger passive very, very effectively. Right, look, Uzi's starting to peel backwards.
Yeah, you see the ability for Kasing to just sustain up, not only Grasp of the Undying, but once he gets more abilities available, Uzi's taking a lot of damage. Heavy trade.
Yeah, so sure, ignites down, exhaust is out, Kasing is looking for it,
He got it!
Hit! Kasing takes down Uzi!
He's done it again! He can't believe it again, but he's done it again. And that is just the strength of Kindred. Reckless is like, what, how did you win that? Reckless is like, I couldn't do that. How did you do that?
Kasing for picking up the win. Kasing, my friend, catch the Poro. Yes!
He gets his prize. There's the replay. Just the damage from Wolf coming out. This early on, he got the level 2. He just is able to get the damage down. Uzi was still level 1. And that was just the key factor. I mean, only 3 CS apiece, but it doesn't matter this early on. You just get the level 2, you get the win. Kasing is actually in the round of 8. I am flabbergasted.
I would not have expected that. And the thing is, that is a perfect example of how important the initial pressure is. How important it is to get like far up in the lane so that when that 7th minion dies, you can engage.
I was settling in for 100 CS on that one. I was like, okay, well, you know, I think Uzi's gonna, you know, probably play this a little bit safer. Kasing, I don't know whether he's gonna be able to, you know, have that damage at level 2, whether he'll read the play effectively, but he did, and gets it. I mean,
he definitely does. So congratulations to Kasing. The Double Lift Reckless matchup has a lot of history, and not only will it once again pit EU versus North America, but it's gonna test 2 carries playstyles.
I guess I'm excited to play Reckless because he's the star AD carry from EU, and I'm the star AD carry from NA. So it's kind of got some history, and also we kind of go way back to like even Season 2 or Season 3 when it was like the AD carry meta, and both of us played each other a bunch in tournaments. I don't know, he's like super stylistically different than me because he's more passive and I'm more aggressive, so hopefully I'll win. If I lose, it'll be really annoying because I'll have lost to EU in the All-Star, so I've lost him already. This is like kind of getting even.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, an unexpected result there so early in that game, but it's time to move on to the second match here. getting into it right away on the blue side for Team Fire from the North American LCS. We'll see if he takes his own advice and picks Lucian. He's here to take out the trash. It's Double Lift! And his opponent on the red side for the European LCS and representing Team Ice, the cool, the calculated, it's Reckless! Well, it's time for a clash of the carries.
And the best carry will come out on top. It is Fire versus Ice. The winner will get to face off against Kissing, and what a beautiful irony it would be if it were Reckless v Kissing, or Double Lift v Kissing after their most recent breakup.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to ask you, Trev, who have you got in this one? Who have you got? Because you're the only person on this stage that's had a worse record than me. You're at 0% prediction rate.
You're not wrong, 0 and 1.
0 and 1,
It's,
like,
you know,
statistically
100%.
correct.
I'd
Who
actually
have you got?
hoped Uzi was going to win
Who
the
have you
whole
got?
thing. I'm going to go with Reckless. Put
Okay,
it
that
out
means Double Lift's winning. He's been training with my boy Jarge for TSM. It's all about the 1v1 tournament right now. What do we got? Lissandra is banned away. We saw that feature in our very first 1 versus 1 as well. Didn't do well for Marin. He got brand cheesed right out of it.
It definitely did not. Ate that stun, and he was finished. There seems to be some fishy business going on here. Mumu and Ilawi banned out.
What does it spell?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Now remember, the players can talk to one another.
Ah.
And N has to be champion with N.
Ah, there we go. Okay,
Lucian v Lucian.
I was only on one side here. That's what it is. It's
Now, hang on.
Reckless.
This
Pick
is
something different.
This is next level.
It is.
I do not think I've ever seen a blue side, red side synergy naming, banning convention.
Well, at IWC, we had the TSM sucks from Rusty and Yamato.
But that's like
that was
center.
one side. Right. It was from one and then the other. This is actually just one and then the other. This is good synergy. Is it? Either of them thought about playing support recently? Maybe that was...
This is going to be fun to watch because the aggressive play style of Double Lift could get him an advantage, but if Reckless times his summoner spells and gets a passive out there, maybe he can undo Double Lift.
We saw this mirror earlier, and you and I were talking backstage about how now it seems to be that with the advantage that Runes and Masteries have in the mirror matchup between Lucian, they seem to end very quickly. Will we get a very quick level 2 or level 3 finish? Because we just had one from Kasing and Uzi. In this matchup earlier, we saw it between, I believe, it was Kira and Bjergsen. That Bjergsen just went all in like level 2 and won the game. Will we see the same again?
Well, we need to find out. That particular matchup, Crappo was mentioning to us that Kira picking a fight while ranged minions were around gave him the disadvantage, allowed Bjergsen to get those extra points of damage. I'm not expecting to see Reckless make the same mistake because he plays on the back foot.
Right.
Reckless plays like, dude, come on, like I'll fight you at arm's reach.
Normally he does, but I actually don't feel that's quite the same in the 1 versus 1, but we will have to find that out. Ooh.
Talk to me about Runes and Masteries. What are you seeing here?
It's the TSM strat is extra health here. Bjergsen did it earlier. It's not quite as much as Bjergsen had. Double Lift doesn't quite have 100. It looks like he's maybe gone for some kind of like scaling health. He's got slightly less attack speed and slightly less armor as well. So early on, his abilities are going to hit slightly less frequently, but hurt a little more.
Wow, they're going all in already. Grasp of the Undying is up, as are the emblems. Serious faces, there's no chuckles. Look at those player cams. These boys are here to win.
They are, but Double Lift is, just having the higher max health is coming out on advantage this early on in the game. And he's got the position. Again, talking about that push control, it's all about getting the initial push. We just saw it undo Uzi in the last game, and now Double Lift gets the first couple of autos off onto the minion wave.
And of course, both running Exhaust and Ignite. So the timing on that Exhaust is going to be massive. Reckless gets the Piercing Light and Light Slinger on Double Lift, but still down in effective HP.
Yeah, and you could see what Double Lift was doing there, trying to trade out of the fog of ward. That's the difference between Reckless not having his ward there.
Reckless is looking at those minions. Double Lift is looking at Reckless. I think a couple extra autos though, it's relatively even, but Reckless still down in HP, and he'll be behind when it gets to level 2. So you can see Reckless immediately peeling backwards.
Yeah.
See? Arm's length, back foot.
Well, that's because he had to concede. As soon as Doublelift already had the advantage, there's no point of Reckless pushing up. He knew the ward had disappeared, so he got a little bit more position through the fog of war in that brush on Reckless side. Doublelift is making sure he's letting Reckless know who's going to win this one. But this one, it's going to go a little bit longer here. We've gone past that level 2. Level 3 is the next one that we may see Doublelift go all in at. He is quite close. That's a lot of damage on Reckless already.
This is looking so bad for
Good
Reckless.
trade for Reckless, though.
Not bad at all. Dashes forward, finds the connection with the Q. Still down in CS, but the minion wave is pushing quite heavily towards him. We'll see how effectively he can CS underneath the Howling Abyss Tower, which deals way more damage than Rift Tower.
It does. And as the minions push up, you can see
Nicely
nice
done.
double tap. Front minions, melee minions, it's 2 tower shots. Will kill it with 1 auto after, or will kill it, so you have to auto tower shot auto. We'll get to that as this game continues.
Lost a lot of those.
All Reckless going for it.
Big damage onto Doublelift. Exhaust is down already. Doublelift's held onto both. That is a big advantage. If a further fight were to break out, Ignite, the Exhaust ignites.
There's a really interesting mechanic in the Lucian 1 versus 1. Ooh, Doublelift gets tagged with a lot of damage here. Lucian is actually one of the only champions that has a fast enough dash to dodge piercing light. I was looking at Zen of the Stoic, who actually designed Lucian on Twitter.
Hold that thought. Reckless gets the autos down. Doublelift is going to force him away. 6 CS advantage will grow, and Reckless is recalling. Look, chin scratch there for Reckless.
He's like, why am I out of mana? Not too sure. A lot of abilities, that's why you're out of mana, Reckless, but you can see he's just trying to hedge his bet. Doesn't wait for all of his mana to refill here as he comes back into the lane. So was pretty much just banking on getting that little bit more health, but keep in mind, he used that exhaust. Doublelift now has that exhaust, has the ignite available.
Oh, big difference as well with that second Doran's. 97 base AD for Doublelift. This is the 89 base AD for Reckless. And Doublelift has got nearly 120 additional hit points. So it's looking grim for EU and Team Ice.
For now, but you know, this game still is wide open. Doublelift does have the advantage in both CS and now AD, and a little bit more health you can see, as he does just have, remember those runes he had early on.
Well, Reckless is trying to get some pressure back. He's got a lot of minions on his side, but those minions will push towards Doublelift, giving Doublelift even more options to play out. Going to be difficult to freeze, but again, look at how much tools he can play with, extending that CS lead. And there we go, trying to stall it out. Reckless goes forward, the exhaust has come down. Doublelift wants to start the fight. Arden plays his traded. Reckless will die, and Doublelift picks up the kill.
Yeah, you could see that Doublelift in that situation. Yes, he was tanking the minions, but he was trading very effectively, and the embrace between the two. Doublelift gets his wish. Couldn't quite get the 5v5 victory of NA over EU, but will get the 1 versus 1. Reckless, you can see he was a little bit out of his depth at that point. Doublelift was trading very effectively. Gets the exhaust down onto Reckless. No real way of him losing that in that situation.
And another game almost decided by that very early level 2. Doublelift on the front foot. You know what? This is turning out to be quite poetic. Of the quarterfinals, the 3 that are locked in are already Fire versus Ice, Fire versus Ice, Fire versus Ice. And the next roundup, Aframu versus Dimashke. We need to see which one of them, sorry, it's Koro versus Froggen in fact. We'll need to figure out which one of those guys is going to win, but from the 6 Fire members, 3 of them have advanced to the top 8.
I'm really looking forward to this next match. So it is an Ice matchup. It is, both of them are from Team Ice. Koro versus Froggen. Froggen yesterday, he took down Faker. Supposedly well, I would say best mid laner in the world. He's pretty much not supposedly now. 2 world championships, I guess that kind of bags that for you. Not the best 1v1 player though. He's admitted it himself. And they went for an Anivia mirror, which if you're really going up against anybody on Anivia, Froggen...
You have to argue. Yeah. Is the attack speed, attack damage runes the
really
cheese for Anivia, or is it the strategy for Anivia? That is the real question that we need to think about.
Look, if you can bait Faker into a mirror matchup, you better have a strat.
Hey,
better
well,
have it. And he had it
Froggen-
yesterday.
Froggen did, and he had that one sorted out. So while the players are setting up, these 1v1s went a little quicker than anticipated, but I think they're almost ready. So let's head to Dash on stage.
Not in the stage anymore. I'm on the stands with the fans. Here they are. Ladies and gentlemen, Doublelift comes out on top with the battle of the carries, but it's time to move on to our next matchup. And starting on the blue side for Team Ice, he saw him take down a world champion, and he's still out for blood. Put your hands together for Koro! And his opponent from the EU LCS also fighting for Team Ice on the red side. He proved he doesn't need a DDoS to win. It's Froggen! Let's keep it clean and have a good game, gentlemen.
Froggen's never gonna live that one down. Unless I'm horribly mistaken, I believe Faker even said to him yesterday, please don't make me lag. And maybe he did. Maybe that's how Froggen did it.
An oldie but a goodie. That one is,
that is the
honestly. But
case.
I was not expecting that. I wasn't ready for that from Dash.
I was
It's,
never ready for Dash and his delivery beaming out across the stage. So, Koro versus Froggen. Koro yesterday, he took down a BB in a 1v1. BB went very aggressive on Tristana, if memory serves correctly. And of course, Froggen, the epic bird is the word battle with Faker. Bump, 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 bump. What are we expecting?
You got that's trademark, Trevor. You can't use that music. That's copyrighted. But in this situation, will the Urgot be banned? Koro played it yesterday, and was one of the only players actually to get his hands on Urgot. Very effective using that passive, the extra resistance that he gets, but is still available. Anivia, however, is not.
I just think Urgot is not as impactful as the other effective champions we've seen. The Lucians, the Caitlyn's, the Kennons. And it's just not a pretty champion to watch. But Froggen, big smiles, big laugh.
He's like, ha, you're banning mid laners. I'm going to play an AD carry.
Now keep in mind,
Surprise!
Froggen just used Brand to take down the LMS All-Stars and get 100 points for Team Ice. Points which even Koro will claim. But a team kill will happen here shortly. Lucian, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, at this point,
Lulu.
it would make sense, you know, Anivia Brand Caitlyn. Ban it out. Simple.
Simple, we say. That's what we think.
Oh, I thought he wasn't going to ban anything then. I was going to say, that's confidence.
Well,
Not banning in a 1v1.
Koro's going themed. All of the
Yep.
AP quasi-mid lane champions. For Froggen, what is that last one? I'm trying to see what he's hovering. Can't tell.
Callista is off the table, so Kindred not available. No. Whoa. Okay. Okay. That is locked in. It's locked, Trevor. so here's a little. Well, no. Okay, I'm gonna try and break this down a little bit. So Nasus normally, Wither would do a great job, hold people a little bit close, make sure they can, you know, not deal quite as much damage in a versus AD match. Typically pretty good. Problem is, Nasus likes to wait till like 40 minutes and then finally one-shot you. So Froggen is going for the farming game right now. I would love to know what Froggen's saying. I would love to be able to hear that those comments.
Certainly hope our video team will figure that one out for us. I don't know how this is going to work. That blinding assault from Quinn is going to make life difficult. If confirmed today.
It was.
Confirmed today, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, for Froggen, the Wither will help, but all Quinn's going to do is vault away to safety. So I don't know. You've made this very, very difficult for yourself, Froggen.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Here's why Quinn's great. Not only is she very strong right now, but you can just get back to lane really quick post 6.
Well, it's not like it's a very big lane.
But even faster. It's like a drag race.
So the next thing is this going to be AP Nasus? I've played this map more than a few times, and when you play it in ARAM mode, Nasus stacks
it
the
is.
AP. Well, right, hit me with the numbers.
26 AP right now on Nasus. So that's a fair amount. 42 armor as well. So, you know, take that as you will.
We need to take a look. What is the Keystone Mastery that Froggen is running?
We will get it. We will get there when
Now,
we see
AP
it.
NASA. So we're going to keep an eye on the animations and see if we can figure out which one it is. Koro in lane already, anticipating Grasp of the Iron dying. I can't see that being anything different.
Corrupting Potion as well. So when he hits Spirit Fire, it will push the minions pretty quickly. Will also, just taking a moment to enjoy the beats, will also, you know, activate that Corrupting Potion. Fair amount of damage. AP Nasus, it is literally all about one ability. Spirit Fire will chunk and hurt quite a lot. There we go. See, look at it push those minions.
I'd like to point out, I'm hearing from our production that Froggen is in fact not running a Keystone Mastery. He's running 6, 12, and 12.
Oh, he is.
So we'll have to break this down. If this works, this might be genius. But it's going to be on the CS, all right? Exhaust, Barrier are the 2 summoner spells. Froggen missed 1, and I think that Spirit Fire might help get this next level. Look, Koro's yielding. He can't stay on the Spirit Fire to farm, but the minion is calm. There's the vault. Level 2 is early. Froggen's in trouble. He's got level 2 his own. Wither comes out, which I guess will be relatively powerful.
It's like, this is really annoying. Please don't use an attack speed and movement speed debuff on me.
Look at this. Koro just continuing to spam out. Got the CS lead. The wave will be pushing towards Froggen, but Spirit Fire spam is going to make life very difficult in keeping the lane where Froggen wants it to be. Gets another Wither down. We need to see how this one's going to play out. Stress, what are you anticipating in terms of the mechanics of this matchup? We know the basics of Wither and Spirit Fire, but I mean, is Froggen going to get any CS here?
I mean, only when he's got enough mana to land that Spirit Fire. You can see just how much damage, though, after the Wither in the minion line, Koro ends up taking. Took a good amount of damage. The trade was actually good for Froggen, but he is out of charges on that Corrupting Potion and out of mana, so Froggen's going to have to recall fairly soon.
Right, let's see. What is he going to pick up? Go Chalice. Go all in, Spirit Fire spam, and just keep pushing this wave.
I don't know, because then you're getting magic resist against a full physical damage champion. Yes, it gives him mana, but no extra real AP.
The Wither is the peace out, I don't want to fight button. So we're never going to see him die.
You're never going to... What's he going to do? Get to 99 CS, hope he got Q stacks on every single one of them, and try and one-shot Koro as Koro tries to win the game?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. We're like 6-7 minutes away. I'm looking forward to it. It
Thank
should
you
be a
very
good
much,
one.
ladies and
Fair.
gentlemen.
I mean, I'll
believe in the Nasus.
It's fine.
I too have felt
I mean,
the Nasus Q spam in solo queue.
Like, look at it. Look at how much damage Koro is taking, though, from these early Spirit Fires. Like, in all seriousness, it is difficult to deal with this early on because it just ticks for so long, and it means Koro is getting zoned away from a fair number of creeps. That means Froggen is staying relatively even on CS, only half a wave behind him.
Yeah, let's see, where is it pushing? We'll take a glimpse of this lane in a second. Doran's Ring picked up for Froggen, as well as more Corrupting Potion charges.
It's pushing away from Froggen until he can reset this at least. There was one extra minion in this wave. Get the Q stack. Oh, he didn't have it. Oh, wasting the charges.
So we'll see if he can manage to build it up. 27-24, so the pressure still in favor of Koro, and the wave landing on his lap. It's going to allow Koro to pick up a further lead. But for Froggen, oh, the taunt! The taunt! Bust a move! Froggen says dance. But the bravado's costing him. He's still down in CS. He needs at least one additional wave. That first tick of Spirit Fire is hitting.
That actually was the first stack that Froggen has got. He hasn't queued a minion until then.
Well, the crowd is absolutely loving the jams. Loving. Look at the smiles. Now, Koro is all business, and Froggen is loving it. He's like one of those stage performers down on the 3rd Street Promenade.
This is actually like the most troll Froggen's been. He's like, I won my Anivia Mirror. I'm just going to pick Nasus. You're never going to kill me. I'm going to get level 6. I'm going to wither you, and that's it. Good
now,
luck.
That's the thing, right? The mad scientist in Froggen. Wither,
Chew that minion! Oh.
Wither is going to be your built-in sort of let's never fight. If you eventually need to get to your Fury of the Sands, get the HP, get the extended range, So you've got all these tools, and now Froggen is closing the gap. It's down to 3
Yep.
from 6.
He's maintaining it. You know, the Spiritfire is pushing through so quickly. So Froggen will be saving his Q for a fair amount of this because he will need it for a little bit extra damage in the trade, so he doesn't want to throw it out willy-nilly. But, you know, he should get a couple of stacks here and there throughout. He is starting to ramp up, but it's not going to hurt too much. It is fairly minimal, the amount of damage it'll actually add. So, you know, I think as long as he's kind of getting cannon creeps every now and again, he should be okay. It's all about just getting the farm done.
Where does Froggen pull ahead? How does he get the additional 4 CS to overtake Koro? At what point can he zone Koro away?
He's already kind of doing it because you can see Koro, now he's going to step forward. Froggen is going to just advance on him until Spiritfire comes back up. Froggen trying to bait out the fact that he could return the damage, but didn't actually choose to in that kind of situation there. So Koro is getting zoned ever so slightly away, but did manage to get an extra CS. 1 CS extra from that wave means that now to 4 between the two.
Froggen is still playing a losing race. You need to overtake the lead person if you want to win. And the current strategy is not working. We need to see an adjustment. Now, both of these players are sitting on over 1,200 gold. 1,200 for Koro, about 1,300 for Froggen. Froggen's just... I don't really know.
It's fine though. Like, I actually don't think it's too bad for Froggen right now, especially if Koro recalls now. He actually recalled. That is disrespectful to Froggen right there. Allowing Froggen to get the whole wave of minions and force it into tower. But here comes the Quinn. How fast can she make it back to lane? This is really underwhelmingly slow.
This is very
no
exciting.
Boots. This is so much slower than I thought it was going to be. Literally, he got it. It's okay, guys.
What?
He got that was actually really underwhelming.
Now, look at the item pickups. Froggen is now going to be unkillable. Glacial Shroud, another Doran's Ring. So the mana regen's going to be there.
Hang on. He got a Dark Seal. He got... Okay, so he gets 25% extra healing from potions. I love it. I love it, Froggen.
That was the move.
And AP. He gets AP from that.
Koro backed away.
And mana.
And now Froggen is going to get a 2 CS lead.
Man, this is value. The Dark Seal play.
And look how Froggen has pulled the minions, the range creeps to his front melee minions. Gonna stall this lane a little bit. I think you gotta stack there on that siphoning strike. Froggen is now in the lead. AP Nasus.
I mean, Quinn actually can't advance here when Froggen has all of his cooldowns up. Froggen has his ultimate too, and has exhaust and barrier. This is legitimately Froggen say, try and outfarm me. And he, you know, Koro is a whole wave behind. The recall in Vision may legitimately have lost Koro this match if he cannot somehow get Froggen away from the minion wave, which is near impossible with this setup that Froggen has.
Especially when you consider the barrier still available, exhaust still available, the ultimate as well, and Froggen just continuing to apply pressure to Koro.
He just walks away. He just withers him and turns his back. He's like, you can't follow me.
It's a 2 CS game. It is a 2 CS game. It is still very, very close.
Froggen just used the cooldown of Spiritfire. And won't be able to push this because he wants Koro to push towards him for now so he can then zone.
Well, withers down. Froggen's moving forward.
Ignite comes out.
But it is forcing out. The ultimate's traded. Exhaust for exhaust. Siphoning strike for Froggen. He still has barrier. Makes his way over to the relic. And with the fight, Froggen's got a 5 CS lead.
Yeah, and that's what it was all about. Froggen knows as long as he doesn't die and can just regenerate this health, he's fine to lose the health, but win the CS game. It's all about CS for Froggen right now.
Koro has got no summoner spells and needs to get through the wither and the barrier. He's bolted forward. The siphoning strike is not really that useful. And the
Froggen.
kills are great. Froggen's down to 110. And with the minions in front of Koro, he's going to take the lead. We're down to 11 CS for Froggen, 12 CS for Koro, and they will win the game.
Careful, Koro. He actually just forwent 1 CS from that wave in order to stop Froggen from recalling. He knows that as long as Froggen stays and can't farm with anything other than Spiritfire, Koro should be okay. But look at how quickly those minions are dying to the AoE from Froggen.
93 to 94. Koro's going to tie this up, and Froggen's got half of his mana bar. Needs to time this well. Spiritfire. He gets 2. He gets the 3rd.
Koro doesn't have mana. He actually actually can't force Froggen off here. Froggen knows he's won it. He's nodding his head. All Froggen has to do is kill. The
96.
range creeps. He's going for the Spirit Fire.
Spirit Fire's down. He's got 2. Froggen needs 1 more. He's
The
going
health
for the
relic.
health
It
relic.
didn't kill the
Minions are
minion.
dying. Goro's on 97. Froggen, he needs the cooldown available. Walks in.
Missile. Oh, he got it.
He's done it. That was incredible. I have never been so excited to watch an AP Nasus in my life.
And watch the, I mean, we didn't quite have enough lead up on that, but there goes the Poros. In that situation, Koro. Oh my god. Koro basically, he knew if he just queued the 2 minions, he was looking for it. Froggen, it was all on that cooldown on Spirit Fire, walking forward just to get the last one. He thought he'd won it already. He thought he had it with the earlier Spirit Fire that killed the first 2 ranged minions, but the third one wasn't quite in the AoE by the time it got there.
The mad scientist of Froggen. AP Nasus.
I love it.
Playing for the long game, playing for the safe 100 CS, and he gets away with it. You know, that one decision, as you said, Stress Koro, recalling in Vision, that was the 6 creeps that Froggen needed to take the lead, and then he never gave that amount up.
Man, that, yeah, as you said, that pretty much was the defining moment of that game, and so close.
It really, really was. So, Froggen advances to the quarterfinal. We still got more games. Dash, tell us who's playing.
Honestly, I'm speechless. I've never seen a Farm Fest be so goddamn exciting. What do you guys think? Was that not just crazy intense? That's right. Well, that's a lot of hype for this next match to live up to, but we'll see if we can do it. So, starting on the blue side for Team Fire, the NALCS support with the highest kill participation. And here to add one more to his death toll, put your hands together for Afro-Moon! But who can forget his opponent on the red side for Team Ice? Looking to keep up the CIS dominance in our 1v1s, it's Dimashka! All right, gentlemen, final one of the evening. Let's make it a good one.
One more spot in the quarterfinals and a shot at taking down Froggen. That's what these 2 players are battling for, and it is another Fire versus Ice bout. Yesterday, Afromu was gifted a victory in his Draven versus Volibear matchup. And for Dimashka, he took down Ollie in a fairly slow paced game.
I mean, you know, Dimashka has been learning from Kira, which was good up until today. Now has he learned and adapted, improved upon what Kira was making, because we saw the Lucian from him yesterday, from Dimashka. Will we see it again today? Will Afromu ban it out and go for something completely different?
So let's find out. At the moment, the expected Kindred ban followed Caitlyn, Lucian. The OPs are being removed. Draven, which is what Afromu played yesterday. Remembering Afromu played in the marksman game mode earlier today.
He did.
Had a great performance on the Varus, which has also been used in 1v1s, but
Quinn is gone.
Quinn is gone.
Not available. We just saw it lose to AP Nasus. Brand is gone. The crowd are chanting Bard. Afromu hears it. He played it yesterday in the EU versus NA game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, didn't work out so well from then.
I mean, the pick worked. I mean, they got a lead from the pick. There was
That is very
nothing
true.
wrong with the pick.
That is
Tooney happened,
Yes.
and that really turned the game around.
I like it.
So
Double have said the same thing in the interview. He's like, and Hooney 1v5'd us.
I said the same thing to Reckless and Kasing earlier as they were making fun of me while I was in makeup. I was like, well, at least I didn't get carried by now an NA player, so...
Yeah, you don't sound bitter at all.
No, well,
Chris.
I
Not
just switched
at
with
all.
Hooney still, but Callista has been locked in.
So Callista for Dimashka, gonna be needing that Marshall Boys passive to hop around, and yes, Afromu feeling the blighted quiver. Piercing arrows of Varus. Did play it earlier, got a taste for it, and we'll see if he can land his skill shots, because this is gonna be a matter of aiming
Yeah.
versus dodging.
Yes, And you know, there's a really interesting thing when it comes to Varus on a 1v1 map. We'll get to that a little bit later as we get to hit that level 6. I'll touch on just how you use the ultimate as it is. But really one of the first times we've seen Varus here in Los Angeles for All-Star. We saw it a couple of times actually in the IWCA 1 versus 1. So I'm interested now. Dimashka versus Aframu. This is going to be a tense one. It's a last spot here in the round of 8.
That's correct. And as we've already mentioned, the other quarterfinalists all feature a fire versus ice battle. The winners of the quarterfinalists will get a minimum of 25 points because only the top 4 places get points from this tournament. So Aframu, if you wanted to keep the trend up, he's going to have to hit every single piercing arrow and make sure that Dimashka does not dodge, dip, duck, dive, or dodge any of those arrows thrown his way.
I mean, it doesn't begin with D, but exhaust is the key factor in this matchup. We saw against Kalista, exhaust is not such a great ability. I mean, Dimashka's not, however, punishing it. He's gone for the exhaust himself. So the reason exhaust not so great, because Kalista just waits out the enemy exhaust, and as long as she doesn't die in the middle of it, Ren's after. So you don't actually reduce that much damage because what is lost from the autos is made up by the Ren.
And of course, what we have seen from the Varus Sai that played at IWCA, maxing the E is a little more effective because it's slightly easier to land. Faster travel time, less predictable because you don't have that wind up from the Q. You can see the first point for Aframu has been on the piercing arrow, and already swing and a miss. Dimashka.
Oh, and now Dimashka trades back. He lands the damage early on and is looking to just take out that minion wave and push through. Also, E is able to hit, you know, more minions as when they're not lined up coming into the wave, so that is another factor for the Varus. But this is a big stack of minions. Aframo has not got much damage at all onto these minions, and that one's going to push.
Oh.
No, you got it. Oh.
Already lost one. Should be able to pick up the next 2. And for Aframu, going to get level 2 shortly, but it will be Dimashka that's got the lead. Both 80 carries, running Grasp with the Undying.
However, Dimashka knows he's not going to be able to trade against Aframu just yet, so actually Ren's both minions. Typically, you don't always want to use your cooldowns to begin, just because at level 2 you want it available to trade.
And take a look at Aframu. He's put a point into Blighted Quiver as his level 2 ability, not the Hail of Arrows. So go for the additional on-hit and maybe some of the stacking. The burst will be in favor of Aframu if he can get some of those Blighted Quiver hits initially.
Yeah.
And obviously, the longer or the more extended the trade, the more favorable it is for Dimashka.
Yeah, very much so. But Dimashka right now is not favorable on that health trade. Experience now leveled up between the two. Aframu is level 3. Can he proc these quiver stacks?
Yes, he does. Dimashka does eat the piercing arrow. Ignite and exhaust down. Aframu gets first blood and makes it look easy.
And that is one of the reasons why, if you're running exhaust against Kalista, you pray to see exhaust on the enemy side as well. I feel like if Dimashka had barrier and could have just gone backwards away from the fight, he may have been okay, but he'd just taken too much damage early on. Aframu was able to get all of the damage down from the skill shots. Doesn't even matter that Kalista had exhaust there. Already the damage was done.
Very well executed from Aframu. And that concludes our quarterfinalists. It will be fire versus ice in every single one of them. 6 fire members started the 1v1s today, and 4 of them advanced, with one of them going down to a team kill. Like, what a successful round of 16 for Team Fire.
Yeah.
To keep themselves, you know, in touching distance of the points.
I mean, you couldn't have written this. I mean, it actually is perfect at this point. Round of 8, one of each team. One of the matchups that we're looking for here, Clear Love against Bjergsen. That's a great matchup on its own. Prey versus, I believe it was it Rookie?
Lex.
Oh, Lex.
Prey against Lex. Yep, Lex ended up getting the level 1 all-in, picked up the victory. Froggen versus Aframu is going to be fantastic. I just want to see what Froggen pulls out. He won 100 CS with the Nivea, 100 CS with Nasus. Maybe tomorrow he pulls out the Assassin and tries to...
Goes all in level 1.
We don't know. We'll have to find out tomorrow when we watch the quarterfinals. For now, though, we're going to head down to Dash for a word with one of our quarterfinalists.
Thank you very much, Quick Shot. I am standing on the red carpet with Kasing, now qualifying for the round of 8. So first off, congratulations on that. But I have to ask you, because every time you win, you have the most surprised look on your face. What's going through your mind? What's happening on the 1v1 stage up there?
To be honest, I don't know how I'm winning at all. Like, I've just come into this as a support player. I have zero mechanics. Like, I don't know anything how to play the game, 1v1. But somehow I won. So.
All right, yeah, somehow you did when you are one of 2 supports now to make it through with Aframu just qualifying into the round of 8. So props to you there. Since you're so surprised with your wins, I have to ask whether or not you have a strategy going in. Is there some kind of, I mean, you've played 80 carries both times, different ones. Are you scouting your opponent? What's going on?
I actually don't have any I don't have any real strategy. I just usually Reckless and Frogan ask me to help them 1v1. I always lose every single 1v1, so it's kind of awkward. So I don't know how I won.
Well, you're winning them here. Next up, though, you're going to have to face off against Doublelift. So he had a pretty, solid defeat or victory over Reckless today. How are you feeling about that matchup?
I actually expected Reckless to win, but I mean, Doublelift is good.
And looking forward, do you think you have what it takes to take down Doublelift?
No. I'm probably gonna lose.
All right. Well, that's probably what you thought the last 2 times. So I guess I really can't put any stock into your word. Finally, I just want to ask your opinion of the 1v1 tournament so far. What has been the best match that you've seen up to this point?
Well, I actually think after watching Frogan and Coral play, I lost about 8 games in a row to Frogan when he played Narcissus mid. So I was happy here that he won.
Well, there you have it, right? That was a pretty spectacular, mind game that he played on him there, and what a cool innovation there on the red for Kasing. Once again, thank you for the interview. Congratulations on moving on to the next round, and good luck in your future games. That's going to do it for us here on the red carpet. Now it's time to throw it back to Shox and crew to break down the 1v1s.
Oh, man, how can you not love Raymond? He just doesn't know how it happens.
I feel a little bit bad because Nils and I came into the EU player room earlier today. And we went up to Kasing and we started laughing at him. And we went over the replay of his game yesterday and how he did everything wrong. When he was level 2, he didn't go all in. He was trading poorly. He said he did okay, and he won the game. Now again he won. I mean, I don't even know how he's doing it.
Well,
He doesn't understand how he's doing it.
Let's take a look. Maybe we can break it down. We have the replay of Kasing's winning moment there. We can roll the clip out and see what happens.
Excellent coaching, I would say.
Yeah, it is the coaching.
It's so strange because he gets to dive in and out of the brush.
Yeah. And Uzi's fighting in Kindred's W. I mean, so you always take the extra damage, and Uzi's just kind of standing.
Oh, man. Level 1. I don't know if Uzi doesn't know how Kindred works, but watching both of Kasing's games, I can officially say, by our definition as a professional, he's absolutely a lucker dog.
Oh. Well, I know we talk so much about the mental game, but he's playing the long con. Every time he wins, we see him, he's like, what?
Yeah, it was so funny because it was so genuine.
And it just keeps happening. Is this a strategy?
It's all scripted.
Yeah. He bases his opponent into thinking that he's bad, then when they don't expect it, he strikes.
Yeah. On the other side, Frogan, he has a smile from ear to ear every time he plays. 100 CS was never so exciting.
Well, we know now that the EU team is practicing 1v1 a lot.
Yeah.
Because Kasing said he had 8 games against Frogan with the AP and Aces, and every single time he lost, probably on CS. So Frogan definitely been practicing very hard for this one. He's their favorite for Team Ice, at least, to make the final.
Yeah, that was such a strange matchup, too, because Koro had the CS advantage, then he backed in Vision, and then he also spent 200 mana on Quinn ultimates that did absolutely nothing to Frogan. He just kind of ran in a circle, and then he got the second part of it off, which is barely any damage.
And it was 98 CS to 100, this one, and
So
Faker was
close.
97, I believe, as well. Like, we're getting really close every time.
He likes to thread the needle. Niels, I did see that you also said that you heard from the team, from the EU team, that they really wanted to win those 1v1s, but it's, well, down to Frogan and
Kasing.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, why do you have Frogan at least?
You mean I have Kasing?
Okay, that's true.
That's true. Let's take a look at the bracket, because 30 players were in this one, and now we just have 8 remaining. Kasing, Doublelift, Frogan, and Aframu, they were all advanced to the quarterfinals. Oh my god, some really dishy matchups there. Kasing versus Doublelift, let's talk about that one first.
Well, first I want to talk about how it's all Ice versus Fire matchups here, because coming into this, we thought Fire was donezo. We were just like, Ice has so many people, they have like a way better chance of making more quarterfinals, and now it's even again. So this is really cool as a Fire fan that we actually have a pretty good chance now.
Or of the competition in general, Fire versus Ice all over. That's really cool. What do you make of the matchups?
What do you mean by we? Are you like a Fire fan or what?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a fan of the tournament.
Yeah, me
There you
too.
go.
Well, the 1 vs. 1 quarterfinals, they get on their way tomorrow. But there's still more All-Star action today as the best from China and Korea take to Summoner's Rift. We'll dive into that matchup when we return.
Yeah, it's so sure. Ignites down. Exhaust is out. Kasing is looking for it. He got more hits. Kasing takes down Uzi.
Wait, are we troll banning?
No. Don't worry.
I gotta be careful for your pocket of Mumu.
Doublef wants to start the fight. Arden Blaze is traded. Reckless will die. And Doublef picks up the kill.
Kill him,
Minions
minion!
are dying. Goro's on 97. Froggen, he needs the cooldown available. Roxanne.
Oh, he got it!
He's done it.
Let me think here.
You play Lee Sin?
Yes, sure. My main champion, you know.
Ashkane does eat the piercing arrow. Ignite and exhaust down. And Famu gets first blood and makes it look easy.